from sunny Barrie, Ontario. We are back for more drive-through and our 2003 Sim Series Amateur League action. It's the Mopar 300 at Barrie Speedway. I'm drive-through in the booth as usual, but joining me from the pits today we have Trace Ryder.
Hello.
So
quite loud down here.
It's loud, it's tight, not a lot of space to walk around, but Trace will be running around, hopefully getting some juicy stories from behind the scenes. And we'll check in with him a couple times during the race. Practice underway right now, as you can see. Drivers getting used to this weirdly shaped track. It's got this interesting...
I can already see the pit road is going to be an interesting thing, as it is split. There's going to be some issues.
Yeah, it is absolutely packed. We have 32 cars on this tiny oval, and it's weird D-shaped. There's a split pit road with an inner pit and an outer pit, and we've already had 3 drivers get sent home just from bad pre-qualifying performance. So TS Media, Alan Johnston, and NASCAR Fan 48 all couldn't make the race based on qualifying time. And they'll be heading home early. So, as usual here in the Amateur League, we're just going to get straight to business. We don't have to sit around here for too long, and the qualifying is already done. The results, of course, if you're on YouTube, are in the description. Otherwise, you can check them in the Discord. We're just going to go straight to the race here.
But he's going to try and dive down. The inside, they have crashed. They've gone into each other.
Ow!
Tracer Rider subscribed on Twitch. Yeah, lonely ads.
I got a text-to-speech, and it absolutely could not handle it. Thanks, Trace, for the resub. 7 months. Oh, baby, that's a long time. I think we both... Aren't I? I'm at 7 months on your channel, too, right?
Yes, sir.
That's cool. Thank you, and welcome to the stream.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Continued quality content.
So we are going to jump ahead. Actually, we can go through starting order real quick. Before we jump to the command, Nick Sant put that number 40 Ford Fusion on pole. Slow Motion is going to be on the outside. And then it's Anthony Lopez starting 3rd, NASCAR Fan 09 in 4th. Then it's Nitro, Thick Daddy, Huang Do, that Arna 2003 guy, points leader Nathan Kiani, and that Racing Kid is starting in 10th. And thank you, Fish Productions, with the Twitch follow. Welcome aboard. Again, if you're new here, YouTube sucks. They did me dirty, and I do recommend following on Twitch or subscribing there. It's just straight up a better platform, and there's way more of me on there than there is on YouTube. I think I've literally done the Outlab podcast and the Sim series on YouTube for the past few months and nothing else, because it sucks. All right, so we're gonna skip our way over to the command, and hopefully we can get a first try. That's close enough. We'll take it.
Gentlemen, start your engines!
Been 9 or 10 for the first segment. We shouldn't really be in danger of overheating, but it will, probably get up to about 220, so just keep an eye on that.
And we're going to go straight to the green flag here as the Dodge Challenger pace car will pull down onto the front stretch. Slow motion, already nosing ahead a little bit. But green flag is in the air here at Barrie Speedway. Nick Sant gets off to a pretty good start, and already this field is bunching up in through 1 and 2. Look at how tight this pack is. Nick Stantz leading Anthony Lopez now to the inside of Slow Motion. This is for 2nd place coming out of turn 4. Even Nitro's having a little look at it. And I think the 06 of Huang Do got loose. He's dropped behind the 9 of NASCAR Fan 09, but now he's looking to the inside through 1 and 2. Anthony Lopez looking to clear the 55 and maybe bring the fight to Nick Sant for the lead, as I think Nitro in the 56 got in the back of the 55. So this is already pretty crazy. You got cars all over the place. Huang Do running the top side through turns 1 and 2, as is the 9 of NASCAR Fan 09. Points leader Nathan Kiani has been carving his way up through the field. He started decently far back, and he's already, I think, up in a 6th place. So a great run from him. Nick Sant, meanwhile, up front, starting to pull away. He's got a few car lengths on Anthony Lopez. Slow motion close behind. Then it's Nitro, Huang Do, Nathan Kiana, and he's got a rear mirror full of Caleb Stroup in the 14. So NASCAR Fan 09 in the number 9 is just dropping back. In fact, here comes Zachary Fitzwater looking to the inside. Fitzwater had a pretty bad luck at the past couple of road course races, but here at the first oval track in the Amateur League schedule, seeing what he can do. Nathan Kiani on the inside of Huang Do through 3 and 4, getting pretty close together, but no bumpers used, at least not yet. And, whoa, Nitro slid way up the track, almost into the wall. My goodness. Got all sorts of action here on track early on. The 32 and the 06 have been side by side for a number of laps now. Huang Do trying to hang it around the outside, and so far it's worked, but it looks like Nathan Kiani will finally clear him coming out of turn 2. Nick Sant still out front by about a second over Anthony Lopez, but I guess with the speeds we're running here, a second is pretty close together on track. And you can see already he's starting to catch the back of the tail end of the field, and it's a crazy battle here. You've got the 15 of Jake Corway, Drayden Zen, the 77, John Felber, 73, DualShock in the 80. These guys are all battling against each other at the back of the pack. And here comes Nick Sant and the rest of the leaders closing in pretty quickly. Boy, I knew lap traffic would come into effect here, but I did not expect it this early in the race. I think within 2 laps, he'll be looking to work his way through this field. And Anthony Lopez looks to be closing the gap a little bit. He's halved it from where it was just a couple of laps ago. So that 75 is on the move. Oh, and just as I say it, he slides up through 1 and 2 and gets way up by the wall and loses a whole bunch of time. Now he's got the 55 of slow motion behind him. Nathan Kiani, meanwhile, since he moved up into 5th place, has been closing in on the 56, and I gotta stop doing that because now he slides wide and Huang Do's to the inside. These guys have been battling so much today. I think they spent more than half the race side by side, and Kiani's still trying to hold around the outside of the 06. Heck Dude with 75 bits, thank you and welcome. I hope you're heckin' enjoying the heckin' stream because it's about to get really interesting. As Nick Sant is closing in on the tail end of the pack, and boy, it's busy. See if Anthony Lopez can take advantage and put that 75 into the lead. Drayden Zen, DualShock at the back here. Looks like Cody Boggs is dropping back. He's stuck on the outside. These drivers will have to pit, I think, at least once, maybe twice. Pretty sure they can do 60-some laps on fuel. But that remains to be seen whether that works out in practice. As the 55 of slow motion getting a little bit of contact with the 75 of Anthony Lopez. But it looks like the 75 will hold his ground for now. He's in 2nd place. 40 of Nick Sant still in the lead. Now trying to work through this lap traffic, getting really tight to the inside of the 77 of Drayden Zen. And it's taken him a little while to get past him. The 77 moves way up the track. See if Anthony Lopez can get by a little bit easier.
But he's going to try and dive down the inside. They have crashed.
Oh, Heck Dude 18 with the heckin' sub. Using that prime. Thank you. Welcome aboard. I hope you enjoy your stay. It is a fantastic place, if I do say so myself, but I may be a little bit biased. As the great Data Rich always says, you can use your Twitch Prime sub on any channel across all of Twitch, and you decided to use it right here. So thank you very much, and I do hope you enjoy your rewards. For those of you who are a part of the Discord, all of the Twitch subscribers and Patreon supporters of $5 or more get access to live timing and scoring along with the race. So on your screen, on your phone, whatever, you can follow along with everything that's going on track and see like really great details on how every single driver is doing. And you would probably see that the 40 is doing particularly well. That is until Drayden Zen throws it on the inside. 77's trying to get himself back on the lead lap, and that's going to move Nick Sant to the high side. Anthony Lopez in slow motion, probably looking to capitalize at this point. See if they can do any damage to Nick Sant's lead. They've certainly closed it in. And I think all the drivers are still in the lead lap now that the 77 has unlapped himself. Now he's in a battle with Drayden Zen. Anthony Lopez still close behind as we're still got a long way to go here on lap 26 of 150. Nort with 20 bits says, I can't subscribe, but I have bits in my love. I don't even need your bits, I just need your love. So thank you. And as I'm going through all this, here comes Anthony Lopez in the 75 to the bottom. Side by side for the lead of the race here at Barrie Speedway. I don't think Nick Sant will be very happy with what the 77 did to him, because here comes Anthony Lopez taking advantage. The 40 got held up for a couple laps. He put that nose on the inside and moved that 75 up to the lead. Except now he's got to deal with the same problem that Nick Sant had to deal with. This time in the form of Cody Boggs. As Nathan Chiani continues his drive up the field. Here he is on the inside of slow motion. This is for third place. Boy, that 32 has just been climbing his way up through the field. '75 Anthony Lopez getting a little bit antsy here, trying to get past the 7 of Cody Boggs. I'm amazed that all the drivers have managed to stay on the lead lap thus far. And that Drayden Zen was able to not only get back past the 40 of Nick Sant, but pull away a little bit too. 75 now at the inside of the 7. Trying to put Cody Boggs a lap down. Nick Sant not really close enough to make any move here. In fact, he might be under attack from Nathan Chiani pretty soon. But Chiani goes a little bit wide through turn 1 in slow motion, sticking a nose up the inside. Chiani's going to have the run out of the corner, though. See if slow motion's still there. 32 can't quite clear him, and they're side by side again through 1 and 2. Now slow motion clears him. So it looks like the bottom side through 1 and 2 is just so effective. If you're on the top, you can maybe hang on through 3 and 4, but definitely not through the first half of the lap. So slow motion does hold on to third place. Meanwhile, Nick Sant working on the 7 of Cody Boggs, trying to get to the back of Anthony Lopez and take back that lead. Heather Price asks, is there a main event after this? Oh, absolutely. As soon as we're done here, we're going to go down to Richmond, Virginia for the drive-through Sim Series Toyota Owners 140, and that's going to be a fantastic show. It is just a day filled with short track action, and there is nothing better. The 88 of Mitchell Carter has worked his way past the 14, the 06, and the 59. So that bright orange Phantom machine is carving his way through the field, and as Nitro runs wide, he may be looking at a top 5 pretty quickly here. As slow motion is battling Nick Sant. This is for second place. Nick Sant, since he lost the lead, has just been unable to keep up with the 75 of Anthony Lopez. You can see that green Wingstop machine pulling away now. He's got some lap traffic buffer between himself and second place. Nathan Chiani trying to get past the lapped Cody Boggs as Mitchell Carter sends it in on the 56 a little bit. The 14 and the 06 are battling as well. We got action all around the racetrack. And boy, ain't that the best thing. I mean, this is what short track racing is all about. Look at this. The 40 and the 55 have been side by side for so many laps. Now it's Nick Sant on the bottom and slow motion on the outside. So at some point, they traded places, and they are still going at it. Nick Sant trying to get a good run out of the corner. Doesn't quite get it. Slow motion's been holding on to that outside for a few laps, but he won't be able to get there out of turn 4. Nick Sant takes second place back away from that 55 as Chiani runs wide. Now Cody Boggs, who's a lap down, still trying to battle with these guys, and he's moving the 32 up the track. Nitro, meanwhile, has gotten past Huang Do, and I think he dropped behind Caleb Stroup as well. So that 06 is struggling a little bit on this current run. Not struggling is Anthony Lopez, who's now got 2 lap cars between himself and second place. And that car's on the move as Drayden Zen goes way up the track, and he might have caught the wall through 1 and 2. Absolutely not what he wanted to do there. See DualShock and Corway are battling right in front of Nick Sant. This could cost him. He runs wide through 1 and 2. Maybe he'll get a better exit down this back straightaway, though. As we are almost a third of the way through this race. Again, these drivers will have to pit at some point. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see a caution later on, as these drivers get a little bit more antsy as the race goes on. We've certainly seen a variety of lines, especially through 1 and 2. Cars all over the place. Last week's race winner, Ethan Head, currently sitting down at 18th, so not a fantastic run for him. And of course, the first race winner here in the Sim Series Amateur League, Thick Daddy, he's only sitting 16th. So the guys who have dominated the road courses so far not doing particularly well. Of course, except for Nathan Kiani, who's sitting in 5th, looking to extend that points lead. Huang Do got very, very tight in the entry of 1. He goes way up the track. But it looks like he'll be able to hold on to his position for now. Anthony Lopez now leading by about 2.5 seconds. So Nick Sant has to really get through this lap traffic quickly and string some qualifying laps together. It looks like once he's past the 80 of DualShock, he will have some clean air. So it'll be interesting to see what that 40 can do, but he goes wide, and here comes the 15. Jake Corway, a lap down, is now going to really, really do some damage to Nick Sant. And that is not what he needs right now, especially if the 55 of slow motion starts sending it up the inside. Anthony Lopez will be smiling hearing about this on the radio. But he's got his own troubles to deal with here. We got a pack of lap cars. Winty in the 3, Dumbledore in the 07, and Drayden Zen, who has somehow managed to stay on the lead lap. Oh, he comes down on the 75 a little bit. I think they'll be okay. It looks like he's going to move Drayden Zen up the track a little bit and clear him pretty quickly through 4. Although that 77's trying to make the outside work. I think that's a losing battle there. Dumbledore is also going a little bit wide. So Nick Sant has lost second place to slow motion. And he's fallen back quite a bit. So let's see if the 55 can actually stay ahead of him this time. Anthony Lopez, since he took the lead, has been dominant. Nick Sant led the first 26 laps, but the past 29 have all been Anthony. And not only that, but he has pulled away from the rest of the leaders here. He's got 3 lapped cars between himself and second place. Caleb Stroup in the 14. Just got past Nitro in the 56. They've had their fair share of battles today, that's for sure. Chris asks, can we get a Pan update? Yes, for sure. Let me find him on track as the 45 and the 24 get together. Pantallica has not had a fantastic day. He's sitting down in 23rd, and he's been in the thick of it all day here. Nort with 10 bits says, Last of Us 2, February 21st. Finally, they put a date on that game. My goodness. Ever since I watched the first trailer for that, I mean, I've never seen a more beautiful video game than that one cutscene they showed. I don't know if I'll play it. I might watch streamers play it, just because that's what I did the first game, and it was fantastic. I really enjoyed that. Anthony Lopez, meanwhile, is trying to work around the outside of the 0 of Jacob Hits. And this can't be easy here. Looks like he's actually going to fall behind the 0. And he's going to run wide again in turn 1. Here comes the 77 of Drayden Zen to unlap himself. And the 55 of slow motion is seeing this happen. He's got to hit every mark perfectly. He has a chance at the lead here. Lopez just missed turn 1 again. He's really, really struggling at that end of the track. And what was 3 lap cars buffer between himself and second has now become just 1. And I think slow motion will be looking to pass him again pretty soon. Lopez goes wide again. 75 he's struggling.
I talked to a lot of the drivers before the race here. It looks like the configuration of the track might be a problem for them later on. It's really easy to overcook the turns here. There's like a slight triable bend going into 1 and 2, which kind of, and if you don't hit it right, you're going to wind up sliding up the track. So we've seen this happen a lot, and tires are starting to burn off. So what I've heard, long run, car's going to get a lot looser, and the track is hard to drive.
Thanks, Trace. Nice hearing from the pits. Thanks to Nitro with the second sub on the 2-month streak. Thank you very much, and I do hope you enjoy your rewards. Really glad to have you guys as just a huge support for this channel and keeping these series going. So thank you so much. I mean, you're paying for content that's free, and I can't thank you enough for that. Oh, and slow motion just overdrove turn 1. Here comes Nick Sant. As the 55 was finally closing in on Anthony Lopez, he ends up overcooking turn 1 a few times, maybe heating up those tires so much when he's on the hunt, and here comes Nick Sant again. These guys have traded places at least 3 times today. So put that 40 back up in a second place. Keanu asks, do we need to make any stops? Yes. Definitely at least 1 pit stop. I think it will be only 1, as slow motion again goes way wide in turn 1. So Nick Sant is starting to close back in on Anthony Lopez. He's in second place, and the 75 has been struggling. These tires are really starting to go. These drivers are running about 0.4 a second slower every lap, and 0.4 may not seem like much, but this is a really short track. So it's pretty significantly slower on these burnt off tires, as Huang Do gives the 15 of Jake Corway a little punt saying, hey, I'm on the lead lap and just moved up into 3rd place. You might want to get out of the way. Maybe that 06 has saved his stuff a little bit here, and I think he's the fastest car on track right now. Yeah, by about 0.3 of a second. Boy, oh boy. Huang Do is on the move. And you can see how much he's closing on the leaders. So the 75, the green and white number 75 of Anthony Lopez is leading. The bright orange Reese's number 40 of Nick Sant is in second. And the pink and purple Lift Ford Fusion of Huang Do is in 3rd and quickly closing on these guys. Nick Sant's having a little bit of trouble getting past DualShock. It looks like he got loose coming out of turn 4. But Huang had to go wide through 1 and 2 just to stay off of him. Huang Do close behind. A little bit of bumper to the 40 in the braking zone. I think they just, I guess, a lack of communication, maybe trying to run different lines, but he definitely gave the 40 a little tap into the corner. Nick Sant lucky to hold on to the car. .75 of Anthony Lopez working his way through the pack. He's past the 07 and the 0. Nick Sant's trying to get past the 80 of DualShock. So when it looked like it was all falling apart for Anthony Lopez, the race leader, suddenly the race has come back to him. And here he is on the move again with over a second lead over Nick Sant, who has found his way into second place again. And it's not going to help him that the 0 of Jacob Hitz and the 07 of Dumbledore are side by side ahead of him. Plus it looks like Huang Do has dropped back just a little bit. Not quite lighten up the score sheets like he was recently. Trace?
Yeah, sorry, I've been walking up and down the pit box. What was the question again?
I believe you're talking to Keanu in the 32. He's having some trouble. He's dropped back down to 6th.
Yeah, he said the car started out great. Current points leader is doing pretty well. The lap cars are a bit of a pain, but overall the car feels okay. I'd look for him towards the end of the race here. They make some adjustments on the pit stop.
Well, as we say that, it looks like he's just passed 2 cars in a couple corners. He's gotten past the 88 and the 55. So that car is definitely feeling good, and it looks like he's got it back under himself again. He's up in a 4th place.
Yeah, well, the race can be essentially, if it stays green, will be essentially divided into 2 segments, and you want to stay up front towards the first half, and then be there at the end of the second half. But so far, yeah, the car looks great. He said it feels great, so look forward into seeing what he does here.
Oh, careful here, almost 3 wide. Anthony Lopez is inside of Drayden's end. Thanks, Trace, for the pit reporting. Love it. So now Lopez is again having a little bit of trouble with these lapped cars, and Nick Sant and Huang Do are closing in.
I have an update on fan favorite Pantallica as well. Says car is insanely loose, can't get it back on the throttle, and he's considering firing his crew chief, as heard by the argument on the radio between the two.
Wow. So, a fire in the cockpit of that 78 car right now. Pantallica sitting in 23rd and has not had a great day so far. Nick Sant, meanwhile, has to make pretty quick work of Dumbledore. You can see the green and white Anthony Lopez, who has led the past 61 laps of this race. He's got all sorts of trouble in front of him in the shape of Mountain Dew fan for life. And then the 77 of Drayden Zen, who somehow unlapped himself and has kept pace with the leaders, and he's passed around 5 or 6 cars. So that 77 has matched pace with the front of the field and is really just picking these guys off. So obviously it's still not a great place to be at the tail end of the lead lap, but certainly better than being a lap down. Nick Sant, meanwhile, moved way up the track, got terribly out of shape through 1 and 2, and now he's got the lap car of Jacob Hitz working the bottom of him. And that's going to put, I think, 4 lap cars between himself and the leader. So another great break here for Anthony Lopez. So he's currently putting the 3 of Winty 1 lap down. As we're approaching the 2/3 mark, I can't believe we haven't had anyone come into the pits. I want to really quickly just check the fuel run. They might be able to make it in one go without a pit stop. I would be surprised. But let's go ahead and take a look anyways. It says there's 63 projected laps, so these guys have certainly gone way longer than I think expected. I don't know if they can make it to the end then. This is going to be interesting to watch. Or if, you know, within the next few laps we see cars starting to dive down the pits, because again, on these worn tires, these drivers are, you know, 4/10 to, you know, a full second behind what they are on fresh rubber.
We're down here on pit road as they're trying to make it a one-stop race. We might be seeing guys come in for the longer run here at the end, and those in the back might be trying to do some undercuts. But so far, it seems like everybody's trying to make it a one-stop as long as we stay green.
Well, as long as we stay green is probably running through Anthony Lopez's mind right now. He's got 3 seconds over Huang Do, who has recently put himself into 2nd place. Nick Sant has really been struggling recently, and he's, I think, 3 of the lapped cars have gotten past him, plus the 06 of Huang Do. So again, things are just turning out really great for Anthony Lopez. Hoping that this race stays green. As we're approaching 50 laps to go here in the Mopar 300 at Barrie Speedway. We've had all sorts of action everywhere on the track, but no cautions. And honestly, I am quite surprised with the way these guys have been driving. We've seen a lot of drivers bump into each other, especially coming through turns 3 and 4. But so far, no reason to warm up that pace car. So it looks like things have strung out a little bit in front of Anthony Lopez here, so he's going to be able to set some decent laps. Huang Do, meanwhile, has finally cleared the 0 of Jacob Hitz. Hopefully he'll be able to set some quick laps and close that lead in, because right now it's pulled out to 4 seconds. Nathan Chiani, your points leader, proving still that he deserves that spot. He's done well on the road courses, and here he is on the short ovals, currently in 3rd place. This 32 has had a fantastic opening part of the season in his home country, of course. This first leg of the Sim Series Amateur League schedule set here in Canada. Anthony Lopez making pretty quick work. He's finally put the 77 of Drayden Zen a lap down. Now the 68 of David Alvarez also going a lap down. So that's going to leave 22 cars on the lead lap at this point in the race with just under 50 to go. Huang Do, meanwhile, set some pretty good laps. He's about 3 to 4 tenths quicker than the 75 right now, but of course, he's had some clean air and he'll have traffic to deal with pretty soon here. Pantallica goes way up high through 1 and 2, and it looked like the 75 Anthony Lopez wanted to get the inside of John Felber, but now these guys are running side by side right in front of him, and he's got nowhere to go. We got parts sitting on the racetrack in 3 and 4. I don't think it's anything dangerous, but just wondering if there was any contact here earlier. And it looks like it was the 33. What happened here? Roger Gregory on the inside of the 9. Oh, pushes him up the track, gets him loose. And they're going 3 wide with Zachary Fitzwater. It looks like NASCAR Fan 09 is going to be okay. He's got a little bit of a mark in the middle of his number, but everything continuing on just okay. That debris doesn't look like it's been a problem at all. Huang Do still setting pretty good laps, but he's not really catching the 75 quickly. In fact, Jacob Hitz in the 0 is looking to be a bit of a problem here pretty soon. He's starting to just nose that Dodge Challenger bumper underneath Huang a little bit. And we got cars coming in the pits. So lap 111, it's the 07 of Dumbledore, the first car to come in. And I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see the leaders. Here we go. Anthony Lopez is in. Huang Do is going to come in as well, as is Nathan Kiani. So the top 3 are all in. Cyclone's coming in as well. Nitro's going to stay out. And this is shaking everything up. These drivers coming in to get some fresh tires. I think it'll be 4 tires because these lap times are getting really, really slow. And with this...
Looking to be 4 tires and fuel for everybody across the board.
And there it is. And the 77 of Drayton Zen. What happened? The 12 of Cigar is wedged in between the 45 and the 77. He did not get into his box properly. And he's running into the back of the 45. Box. I think he's in the wrong pit here. He missed the inside pit wall, and now he's in the wrong place. So that's effectively going to put him out of the race, and we got a caution. We have a caution with half of the field in the pits, and I think Nitro... Oh, Huang is destroyed! Huge damage to the 06. And he has had such a good run all day. Boy, oh boy. What a shame for that team. Let's go back and see what happened here. He'd made it out of the pits okay. Running the apron through 1 and 2, trying to get back out onto the track, and does so. Oh, and there's a wreck in front of him. He piles into the 75. The 2 leaders have run into each other. And that's what brought out the caution. So it looks like Nitro's trying to get... He gets turned here. Nitro's coming into the pits. NASCAR Fan 09's getting out of the pits. And he gets dumped through 1 and 2. And it looks like he gets the car rolling again. The 88 of Mitchell Carter hits him again. And Lopez is into it. And Huang Do on the brakes too late. And that car severely damaged. And they've retired it. The 06 is out of this race. And with all these pit stops, a lot of the guys who came in are now laps down. We've got to get this order sorted out. This whole race has just been flipped on its head. The 9 and the 56 have hit each other. They had that big wreck at CTMP when they took each other out of the race. Now here they are again finding each other, this time in turn 1 when the 56 was having such a great race. And the 0 of Jacob Hitz has a black flag. I think that was for entering a closed pit. He's shown as our leader right now, but he's going to have to come in and serve a penalty. I have very much lost track of what's going on here. The Sim Series chaos has striked again. So Anthony Lopez in that destroyed rear end on that number 75, he's sitting in 3rd, which is effectively 2nd. Nitro, by not pitting and then coming in under caution, has put himself into the lead. And in 4th place, which is effectively 3rd because the 0 has to serve a penalty, is Caleb Stroop. So Slow Motion is down to 5th, the green flag is out, and the leader is most of the way down the pack. Nathan Kiani in the 32 is... Boy, I don't even know where he is. He is 3 laps down because of the pit cycle. So Jacob Hitz in the 0 has to take a penalty. Can he get down the track? Okay, he does, but that puts the leader way up top, and we got a stopped car. It's Cyclone. Oh, and they're piling in David Alvarez, Cigar. Oh, no. Oh, goodness, what has happened now? Slow Motion on the outside. Roger Gregory throws it to the inside. They get caught 3 wide because Cyclone sends it in and turns into the pit entry wall. And nowhere for DualShock to go. Cyclone ends up stopped on track in front of the field. Let's watch it again from a static camera here. He turns the 33. They both get it. And the 81 of Thick Daddy involved. We got cars piling in. The 12, the 59, the 68. This race has gone to absolute chaos. I mean, when's the last time you've seen cars in the pit entry wall? That was a trick question because it was just last week at CTMP. So, oh boy, we got Pantallica's destroyed. Cigar's got all sorts of problems. Fitzy's coming in the pits. The 2's got damage on the left side. The 68 of David Alvarez, that car is absolutely destroyed, but he's still out there on track.
So I'd like to report on what's going on.
Oh, please, shed some light on this.
I have no idea what's happening, so I was hoping maybe the booth could fill us in. What? Multiple cars involved in that accident, including the points leader, also involved. A lot of damage on the track. Do you have any idea? That looks like they sorted themselves out.
I think so. Anthony Lopez has ended up in the lead again. He's got the lap car of Dumbledore. He's going to move down to the bottom line once they're ready to go green here. And then Nitro's in second. Jacob Hitz is shown in third. I think he came in the pits to serve the penalty, but then the caution came out, so he just rolled through the pits. He still has to serve that black flag. And then Caleb Stroup has ended up fourth, and the 55 of Slow Motion is sitting in fifth. So through all this, the points leader, Nathan Kiani, is 2 laps down in 23rd.
There's adamant discussion happening that between the No Quarter Motorsports team owner and the officials about whether or not he served that penalty or not. Because he did, in fact, stop in his box. Just the yellow came out.
So David Alvarez retired, Cigar retired, DualShock, Roger Gregory, and Cyclone are also out. So we're going to get a green flag here with 25 to go. And Anthony Lopez ended up on top again, despite the huge damage he's got to the rear end of that car from the first caution. Green flag again here at Barrie Speedway. Nick Sant in the 40 is now a lap down. Nitro sitting in second. The 59 still in the pits. We're going to have to watch and see. They're still showing a black flag for the number 0. Oh, and we got a big wreck! The 8 is around Thick Daddy's in it. And the 77 gets turned, and that's another caution. And the 0 still can't serve as penalty because the field keeps wrecking. So Anthony Lopez is going to hold on to the lead. The 07's going to get his lap back. And we got to, again, unpack whatever the heck is going on. The whole field has gotten wadded up, and these drivers can't keep it off each other. This is coming out of turn 4, and it looks like the 55 again of Slow Motion. He's going 3 wide with the 57 of the Chisholm family and Ethan ahead sitting in the middle, and they all get squeezed and into the wall. So the 8, last week's race winner, just gets caught in the middle, and Slow Motion gets on his corner. He gets into the 57, boom, into the wall, and then he gets hit by Thick Daddy, who collects the 16 and a couple other cars. So what the heck happened to Drayden and Zen? I don't even know. I think this was an entirely separate incident. Or no, it wasn't. It was the wreck behind him, I think, was caused by the 57 of the Chisholm family, who just couldn't hold it on the bottom line. He comes way up the track, which puts the 8 and the 55 into the wall hard. And he ends up clipping the 14 of Caleb Stroup, who then gets turned into the 77. So just a big chain reaction, all started by the 57 just missing the corner exit. You see he goes straight and just takes out 4 or 5 cars in the process. At least now we have some sort of grasp on what on earth is going on. So Jacob Hitz has dropped down to 9th. Somehow. How has he fallen that far back? Did he come in the pits again to serve a penalty that they won't let him? Yeah. He came in under caution to serve the penalty, and he had to wait for the whole field to drive by. But it's still showing as a black flag because I don't think he can serve it under caution. And David's also reporting that Ethan Head has a black flag as well. So the 8 car, who's already a lap down in 18th, he's going to have to serve a penalty. And it looks like he's coming into the pits under caution. But I don't know if that'll clear it. So with 15 or so laps to go, green flag is out, and Anthony Lopez still leads. Hopefully these guys can go a few laps without getting into each other. Late in the race, we know track position is so important, and these guys on the bottom trying to get themselves back on the lead lap, because if we get another caution, they get to drive all the way back around the track. So Anthony Lopez leads. Here comes Caleb Stroup to the inside of Nitro. This is the battle for second place. So that 14 has ended up in the right place at the right time. Here he comes on the front straightaway now on the inside of the 56. Can he clear him through turns 1 and 2? Yes, he can. Caleb Stroup now is right behind the leader. Anthony Lopez stuck on the outside, letting these lapped cars by, and he gets hit by the 24. That racing kid trying to get himself back on the lead lap absolutely sent it. He got into the 14. Here he comes into the lead of the race. Coming out of turn 2, it's Caleb Stroup and Anthony Lopez side by side through 3 and 4. The 14 still got lap traffic to deal with, as does the 75, because here comes the 24. Anthony Lopez goes way up the track. Nitro's now looking to the inside of him. And this is all worked out for Caleb Stroup, who is now into the lead and has a couple cars between himself and the leader. And it looks like we've managed to stay green for a few more laps here. NJC has moved himself up into 4th place. He's gotten past the 55. Jacob Hitz has been disqualified from the event for refusing to serve the black flag, and the No Quarter Motorsport guys are visibly upset. We got... Oh, Trace, what's going on down there?
A lot of swear words, a lot of name calling, and just a very angry team owner. He repeatedly, they tried to serve the penalty, but were unallowed under yellow for whatever reason, and he told him to stay out. He did and got disqualified. That's the latest I got. Wow,
chaos here in the pits. I think that's the first time we've ever seen a disqualification mid-race in a Sim Series event. So the 0 has been effectively black flagged, and I mean he's pulled the car over now. They just stopped scoring him. So clearly some miscommunication between Sim Series officials and the 0 team, the No Quarter Motorsport entry. So
yeah, the 0 team is packing it up. They're all not happy.
Boy, what a way to end the week. This has been a chaotic race, as the 14 of Caleb Stroup has just crossed the line with 6 laps to go. He's got about 1.5 seconds out front from Nitro. Anthony Lopez is sitting in 3rd. He's got a rear mirror full of NJC in the 17. Zachary Fitzwater is still pitting to try and fix up that 59 car. He's just coming back in the pits, I think. So through all the chaos here at Barrie Speedway, we knew the short tracks were going to be interesting here in the Sim Series Amateur League, but I did not expect a show like this. Caleb Stroup leads by 2.5 seconds. Nitro in 2nd with Anthony Lopez right behind him, trying to look to the inside. They're crossing the line here with just 3 laps to go. So it looks like Stroup is pretty safely in the lead unless something strikes him, but I wouldn't be surprised given what we've seen so far today. As Fitzwater's coming back in the pits yet again. Nitro trying to hold on to second place with Anthony Lopez behind him, who has led over 100 laps today, but he will not get the win. White flag in the air for Caleb Stroup. Through the fire and the flames, there's one light at the end of the tunnel. The Sunny D number 14 Ford Fusion. Caleb Stroup will win it here at Barrie Speedway and immediately pull onto the pits, as these drivers just want to get out of here. Boy, oh boy, what a crazy event. Just the 97 gets into the 40. The Zero team is still angrily packing up their stuff. Jacob Hitz disqualified from the event. We've had 6 other retirements. Wow.
Yeah, down here outside of the Zero pit box, the team owner and Sim Series regular threw a impromptu press conference in which he said they are planning on boycotting the next amateur league race because of the terrible officiating.
Wow. So No Corner Motorsports sounds like threatening not to show up next week. Certainly much more discussion to be had on the craziness that has been this event. If you're not a part of the Discord, definitely do join that. There's a link just below because there's going to be a lot of talk about this, and I'm sure the championship standings have been shook up because previously leading was Nathan Chiani, but he's 2 laps down, classified in 18th. So we're going to go ahead and export the results, and we're going to do the points for that afterwards. Unbelievable, and I'm so excited for the rest of these short track events. So certainly in contrast to the in control racing we had last week. So the Sim Series Amateur League after today's event next week. No, we're taking a 2-week break for the Amateur League. They're going to fly the series over to the UK for the Sega European GP at Donington Park. So to get the whole series flown overseas, we're going to take a week off, and we will be back on October 8th for some British road course action, and hopefully that'll give the series some time to just deal with whatever's happened to the Zero team. So what a race. Do stick around because in around 10 minutes time we'll be live once again for the drive-through Sim Series Toyota Owners 140 from Richmond Raceway. For Trace Ryder and his fantastic pit reporting we've seen today, I'm Drive-Through. Thank you all. We will see you again very, very soon.